Well, okay. I think it's 5 o'clock now, so we can start. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this prep session before the early talent and internship fair that will happen next week on May 25th from 1 to 4 p.m. And today we will talk about how to craft an effective elevator pitch. And my name is Anna Litman, and I'm a career advisor at our main career center. So we will cover today, went too far, but that's okay. So we will cover today what makes an effective elevator pitch. We will talk about how to craft various effective elevator pitches. And my presentation will take about 25 minutes. Then I will give you an overview of additional resources, probably for another 5 minutes. And then I will be happy to answer your questions, probably for another 20 or 25 minutes. So before we start, I want to give you just a few words about myself. So my name is Anna Litman, and in my 12 years at AU, I coached thousands of undergrad and graduate students on how to successfully engage with various employers. Prior to AU, I had several careers myself. I was a school teacher, I was a reporter, I translated at international summits and top-level negotiations, and I worked at the World Bank as a consultant. So all these experiences, they helped me understand hiring and recruitment practices, networking dynamics, and most importantly, how to stand out professionally to a hiring manager. I know that starting a professional conversation with a potential employer may be nerve-wracking. What to say, what not to say, how to market yourself, and at the same time, not to come across as an arrogant person. All these are legitimate concerns, and I get it. And I'm very excited that today I have an opportunity to teach you 5 easy tips that you can apply and then feel confident about your interaction with an employer at an upcoming job fair or in any other situation off or online. So please stay, listen, and ask questions. So you probably already guessed that I gave you my version of an elevator pitch. So when I was preparing it, I thought about what would be my purpose. And my purpose is, and my purpose was, and my purpose is to convince you to stay and to trust me and to listen to my advice. So therefore, I pitched to you my present experience that I'm coaching students at AU. I pitched to you one of my several past experiences, for example, World Bank, and I pitched my value to you that I will help you gain confidence. I wrote and I edited my elevator pitch before this webinar. I tried to keep it less than 2 minutes. So hopefully I succeeded in that. And I tried to choose the words that would convey my thoughts and emotions. So I tried to smile and be energetic. Okay, but now let's cover some basics. So what is an elevator pitch? And we will talk today about an elevator pitch specifically for job seekers, because elevator people may use an elevator pitch in for different purposes. So if they pitch the services or in marketing or a company may pitch their services. But we will talk today about specifically an elevator pitch for job seekers or internship seekers. So it is an elevator pitch is a short professional introduction. It can be as short as 30 seconds, or it can possibly be as long as 2 minutes. And its purpose is to get attention of a recruiter or a hiring manager or a potential professional connection. So there could be, different situations or different contexts when you will need to introduce yourself professionally. So could be a job and internship fair, like the one that is coming next week. Or it could be a meetup with an employer or an employee chat, or it can be a networking reception, or you're reaching out to an alum or a rep or another contact, potential contact, and ask for an informational interview, or you participate at a conference, virtual or hopefully soon non-virtual, or you need to present yourself and introduce yourself in another professional situation. So elevated pitches, they're very short, short and kind of concise professional introductions and professional presentations really will help. But you can also ask me or tell me, so Anna, do I really need to, when I participate in a conference, or if I go to a group presentation at a job fair, do I really need to kind of promote myself? Do I need to, or can I just, come and attend and listen? And do I need to do all of that to get a job, or can I just maybe send my resume? Well, actually, we all need to be active and need to be seeking networking situations, opportunities to meet with employers, and actively engaging with them, because 8 out of 10 jobs are found through networking. And networking can actually happen anywhere, not only in professional kind of situations like a job fair. It can happen anywhere, and it happened anywhere. So now, the pandemic situation is really getting better. So we're going back to our normal life. We start communicating and seeing people and being out and about. So wherever you go, please don't forget to pack a pack of your EPs. So I will use, in my presentation, you will see I will use EP for elevator pitch. So what are the two key attributes of an effective EP? So first, your EP should be targeted at your audience. So think about not only yourself, but think about your audience, people who you will be interacting with, your interlocutors. And second key attribute is, and I've already mentioned, but I will mention it again, it should be short, sweet, and enticing. You don't need to tell everything in your elevator pitch, but you need to say enough so that people will like to continue conversation with you. So when I was preparing this webinar, I thought about, appetizers. So actually EP is like an appetizer. So it could be, depending upon the situation, upon the context, it could be a very light appetizer. So it could be very short EP, like 30 seconds or 90 seconds. Or it could be kind of on a heavier side, like a little bit more substantive, a little bit longer, like my EP was, which was longer than probably around 2 minutes. But remember, it's not enough to remember rules of good, effective EP, but it's also good to know what a bad and really bad EP is. So the elevator pitch, that's all about you. You talk about yourself and it's a kind of a long and unabridged bio. You talk about all experiences and all accomplishments and all your skills. Or some people do like a soul searching during this professional introduction, and a little bit it's kind of talking about their doubts and still kind of processing those doubts in front of a person. So it could be, so I've heard such EPs and they're really, really long. I also heard EPs that are very short. People just say their name and just maybe one fact and that's it. It's also not very interesting, not very engaging, right? And I've heard other EPs that were very, kind of, they were memorized and people were giving their introductions, their EPs in a very robotic way, not engaging with their audience. So let me give you 5 tips that I hope will help you create an effective EP. So how to start? So the first tip that I want to give you is analyze the context. So think about the format of your interaction. Think about what your audience wants to hear, why they're interacting with you, what are their needs, what are their expectations, and also think about what your goals are. So again, I'm kind of bringing my slide again about different contexts. So expectations of the audience, your audience at the job and internship fair will be different than at, let's say, informational interviews or networking reception. So the employers who come to the job fair, they are really looking to hire people. So they have hiring needs. At networking reception, employers and other professionals, they come to meet other people. They come to exchange, they come to meet, they come to learn more about other professionals. They come for an opportunity to expand their networking, their own networks. And at conferences, same thing, as people just want to expand their network. So they're more, and their expectation is to have a conversation, to learn about a new person, to talk about themselves. So let's focus on virtual job fairs, because this is something that is coming next week. So let's analyze the virtual job fair context. So the employer, or the employers who come to the job fair, they want to find, as I already said, potential talent. So they will be looking for certain skills and for certain attitude that they would like to see as a as a good combination for their company. So you need to ask yourself, what are those skills? What are those attitudes that the employers are looking for? So the interaction with the employer could be only 10 or 15 minutes if it's an individual session, or it could be a group session. So it will be a different dynamic, right? So if it's an individual session, so you definitely want to produce a good impression, and then right off the bat. If it's a group session, still you can produce an impression by asking questions, participating in the chat. So what's your goal? Is you want to be invited to an interview. You want to be noticed. So you should think, what should be your pitch? So what should you pitch to the employers? What questions should you ask? So your EP at the job fair should look like something like that, something as a probably one, or if it's a individual session, so it could be kind of on a more kind of heavy side. I remember my appetizer slide. So it could be 1 or 2 minutes long, be 4 or 7 sentences, because at the individual session, the employer has, I think, 10 or 15 minutes, and they really want to kind of figure out, okay, what are they, would you be a good potential fit for the company? Would they kind of think about you as a potential candidate or not? So make sure that you include 1 or 2 relevant skills in your EP and a related experience or accomplishment, and mention your interest, and all that should be connected to the specific employer. So if you plan to attend several individual meetings with employers, so please customize your EPs accordingly. So when you participate in a group session, so you can also write a shorter EP introducing yourself. Then it should be probably 3 sentences. So you will introduce, you can prepare it, you can then cut and paste it in the chat and include a question. And that will be a good way for you to kind of to get to show your enthusiasm, your interest in the employer. And that's what, what employers particularly looking for. Of course, they're looking for skills and accomplishments, but they also look for interest in them, not in just the field or in a kind of just the position, but interest in this, in them, in this particular employer. Okay, so researching employers is the must. So that's what I would suggest that you start doing, and researching employers and analyzing what they need, what they want to hear, what they expect, and that will be a good starting point for creating your EP. Tip number 2. So stories are memorable. That's what we hear from different professionals, not only journalists, but also from psychologists and neuroscientists. So think about preparing a short story that will have the beginning and middle and end. And think about organizing it around like present, past, and future. And you can kind of play with it. You can start with present and then talk about past and then about future, or start with future plans, your present, some present facts, and your past experiences. Use connectors, because that's what kind of the good story has. It has the kind of it is a story, right? So you narrate a story. So you can use when I, because, that's why. I don't want to say that it's easy to create a story. Quite often it's easier just to kind of list the facts, but I would definitely recommend that you try. And after a couple, attempts, you will see that it actually becomes much easier to think in stories than just in separate facts. So that's what I tried to do, to prepare when I was preparing for this webinar. So I found an employer that's coming to the fair, and it's a Shepherd Pratt Health Systems. So I tried to just kind of invent a story. So I want to try it right now with you. So just kind of imagining myself that I'm coming to the individual session, because this employer will have an individual session. So, okay, I'll try maybe to say something like that. So, hi, my name is Anna, and I've just graduated with BS in Health Promotion. During the COVID pandemic, I started volunteering for a virtual support group for Spanish-speaking single mothers. I was able to brush up on my Spanish skills, and that was great. And also this experience made me passionate about the field of mental health and social services. And now I'm researching social work graduate programs. Maybe I'm planning to start it in about 5 years. And I was very excited to see that Shepherd Pratt is participating in this fair. And I was very impressed to learn that your organization has been named as LGBTQ healthcare equality top performer. I would love to support your mission of providing compassionate care. Could you tell me more about opportunities available now for recent graduates who aspire to be in helping professions? So I see it's a little bit long, and I haven't learned it by heart, so I haven't memorized it. So probably if I start memorizing it, I will be making some cuts. But I wanted to show it to you that in this particular, when I kind of analyzed that Shepherd-Pratt Health Systems, I looked at researched their website, and they're talking a lot about helping and compassion. And that's kind of I wanted to convey. I wanted to convey, through by showing how I got my interest in that, in health, mental health issues, though I am a health promotion major. They also mention on their website that they have many of their clients as Spanish speakers. So that's why I wanted to mention my Spanish skills. And I kind of used the words from the helping professions, like, passionate, help, love, excited. I don't want to say that other professions do not like these words, but people who aspire to be in helping professions, they particularly, and who are in the helping field, they particularly have these words particularly resonate with them. So you can see, I started with a kind of present, then I went into the past. During the COVID pandemic, I started volunteering, and then I brought it to my future plans of going to a social work program. And then I finished with related it to the organization and have a question. So I decided, okay, I'll play with it a little bit more. So so here's another take. So hi, I'm Anna. My career passion is helping people regain their health, emotional or physical. And I've just graduated with BS in health promotion and planning to go to graduate social work program in probably 5 years. I became very interested in mental health issues during the COVID pandemic when I started volunteering for a virtual support group for Spanish-speaking single mothers. And I was also able to brush up on my Spanish skills, which was great. And I'm really excited that Shepherd-Pratt is participating in this fair, and it has been named as a LGBTQ healthcare quality top performer. I would love to support your mission of providing compassionate care. So could you tell me more about opportunities available now for recent graduates who aspire to be in helping profession? So you see here, I start with my future. So, so my career passion, and that I'm planning to go to graduate social work program. And then I go into my past. So that's what I would suggest, that you will try different versions until it kind of feels right to you. So it brings me to my tip number 3. So you need to prepare. You need to, after you've analyzed, after you've kind of figured out the story, you need to write it, maybe rewrite it, you need to edit it, and you need to practice and practice, but please don't over-rehearse. It should come natural. So maybe it will help not writing full sentences, maybe just talking points will be sufficient for you. I would suggest to try and talk to the mirror, or talk to, just look at the door, look at the door, look at the window, and say your elevator pitch. It also helps to record yourself 3 times. And during your presentation, smile and make short pauses, and maybe emphasize some important points with maybe some gestures. Okay, now tip number 4. Be in the moment and enjoy the opportunity. I know how many students really stress about meeting employers and talking to them and kind of, again, promoting themselves. It's a great opportunity to engage and connect and talk to employers and professionals. So please enjoy it. And be in the moment, because you may have practiced and prepared and edited your EP, and it's wonderful and amazing. And you're so good in pitching it, and you're smiling and you're very energetic, and you start and you say that you just graduated with BS in health promotion, and the employer, or in other contexts, another person say, oh, really? Well, my niece just also graduated from the same program 5 years ago. Oh, it's wonderful. And then, okay, but you wanted to say something. You have the whole speech prepared. So be in the moment, respond, react, contact, engage, converse. Even if you thought and you've analyzed, as Anna told you to do, you analyze the format, you know that this is what the employer would probably, that's how the employee would behave. But the employee behaves differently. You know, we're all people, we have our own personalities. So it's very important to remind yourself to be in the moment, kind of go with the flow. And my last tip is trust yourself, you know, be genuine. Find and do this presentation, this EP in your way, in the way that feels comfortable to you. Because EP is just the beginning. It's not the end of the conversation. Yes, it's important to get attention. It's important to impress. The first impression is really important, but still, it's still just the beginning. So please don't stress. Again, going back to tip number 4, enjoy it. And I'm sure that you will have a very kind of fruitful interaction with employers at the job fair next week, or in any other professional situation. So, as I said, you know, there are different ways to do that, right? So that's kind of, I showed you a little bit of doing it my way, Anna's way. But there are other ways to approach this topic of crafting an effective elevator pitch. And I would like to suggest that you go to the, that you check other excellent presentations from my colleagues on the same topic. I found 3 presentations and I love them. And they give you various examples and some exercises. So I would suggest that you will also check them out. And also another very short and sweet blog on this topic from our own Handshake. And I also find it very useful. So now I'm happy to answer your questions, and I can stay, you know, if you want me to stay a little bit longer, I can stay and help you maybe start crafting your EPs. Okay, so I see one. What are some necessary questions I should ask in an individual session and group session? I will probably, when you say the word necessary, there are some questions that I think are important for you. And that's, they become kind of necessary. So there are some sample questions that you can find. I think it's there on our website you can find, but I will, start with, again, I will start with looking at specific employer, reading why they come, why they, so what kind of opportunities they bring. Again, look at their website, see what information you can get. Maybe there's some new information, some new projects or new initiatives that they're working on. So you can ask a question by stating that, I've learned from your website or from the annual report or from something else that you've started, that your organization have started working on something. Could you tell us a little bit more about this project? It will show that the employer that you're really interested because you've done research. You can ask more specific about skills. So what skills your organization need in order to succeed in XYZ, what you are doing? What skills you are looking for to, again, and again, you need to look for an opportunity to showcase that you've done research, that you know what they're about. It's not like a cookie cutter question that you can ask any employer. Yes, it is kind of, in a way, a cookie cutter question, but it has an additional information in it that will show that you've done your research. How we can get the link for the additional resources. I would suggest, I hope that my colleague would be able to do that. If you RSVP'd for this, you probably have RSVP'd for this event to get the link. So this is how we can, we can send you, we can email you these resources. Would you like to maybe send me your email, and I'll be happy to send it to you directly. So my email is my last name, which is Litman, Litman, @american.edu. So again, it's Litman, Litman @american.edu. Okay, so the next question. How would you suggest an EP with an employer you may not have a lot of relevant skills accomplishments with, but is still interested in a career with? Switching industries. Here is the story. This is where the story happens. So you can start with telling your story that for many years I've done this, or for a number of years I worked as, but then something happened, right? If you've become interested in what they're doing, so something has probably happened in your life, whether it was an experience or a person or a situation or I don't know, an article, something has happened, right? So then this is what you can say, that this is I've done for many years and I've learned this and this and that. So you're not completely discarding that experience, because it helped you with transferable skills. Most of the experiences help us develop skills that are required and very and sought after by various employers, irrespective of the field. And this is a teamwork and oral skills, communication skills, and writing, and analytical and abilities, and critical thinking, and other skills. So you can kind of weave it into your story. So yeah, I've done this and it was great experience. I've learned a lot, but then something happened and this is what I'm interested in. So could you tell me how I get my foot in the door of this organization that is now my passion? Okay. Any others? Other questions? We have about 15 minutes, I believe. Okay, I see one more. How many sessions do you suggest we sign up for? That's a good question. I would, what will, well, you just need to, I don't have a magic number for you because I think that's that's what you, see what you can fit, what you can fit in the schedule, how that, it's important to not to, it's important when if you register for the session, make sure that you attend or you cancel it, because you may be, if you have overbooked yourself, then you are not allowing another person to use this chance, and it's not good. I don't know, I'm not sure how to answer this question. So you also know your own energy level, so extroverts, they are doing much better, the more they talk to different people, each interaction, next interaction is better than the previous one. So if you are an introvert, you may be really energetic and engaging in the beginning, and then your energy will go down. So that's also important to to remember and analyze yourself in that kind of way. Any other questions? Okay, let's see another question. Thank you. Thank you so much for attending, and I'm really wishing you success. And please remember that we have, career advisors who are very happy to meet with you individually and help you through these steps that I've outlined today, and help you kind of craft your EP, and not only EP, but with other things, other questions as well. And you can practice your EP with them and get their feedback and kind of use them use their feedback to prepare for the fair. Okay, what should we do if we do not know how to answer a question? Well, that happens with me a lot. So you try, but not try too much. Try to think out loud, because that sometimes they ask you a question with a desire not to kind of check what you know, what you don't know, but to see how you think. To see your kind of thinking in action. And again, I'm kind of going back to my extroverts and introverts. So extroverts, they speak to think. So in those situations, that may be even kind of maybe a little bit easier to be an extrovert. did I say extrovert or introvert? So extroverts, they speak to think. Introverts, they think and then speak. So it's it's kind of it's give yourself an opportunity to really to think and ask maybe additional question to help you with an answer. Or, you know, if the question is kind of whether you know something or you don't know something, it's not like a question that will that is designed to show your thinking skills, then you just, you know, say that you don't know, and then you can look it up, you know, and you can think of where you can look it up. Hopefully this is helpful. Okay, any other questions? So if we have, since we have kind of 10 more minutes, I don't want to keep you here, but if you want, you can practice your EP and you can send it to me and I'll be more than happy to send you a feedback. And you can do it either today, right now, and include it in the chat, or you can do it kind of privately, and you can send it to me to my email, litman@american.edu. And I promise that I will send you my feedback very, 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 very quickly. Well, thank you for attending and for your questions, and please, please use career services. We are here for you, and all our career advisors will be very happy to help all of you and each of you in your career development and in your career success. Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you so much for attending.